this time to guide us. Now, I would like to take the opportunity to briefly introduce Mahesh Yadav sir. Sir is a professional career coach, mentor, trainer, and at various edutech institutes such as Upgrad, Digital Vidya, IMS Pro, etc. Sir has guided thousands of professionals and students in their career journey. Sir is the alumni of some reputed colleges such as IIT Roorkee and Indian School of Business. Currently, Sir is working as a senior manager at Essential Applied Intelligence Group. I am very thankful to Sir for giving your association to us. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Rohit, for that kind introduction. It's an absolute delight and pleasure to be with all of you today evening. I welcome you all and thank you for joining this session. It's really great to interact with the minds which would be helping our country's growth and also help us indeed have a great future. It's said that today's students are tomorrow's citizens and leaders, right? So I'm sure you guys would go a long way in your careers from now. So let me just start with the premise with which we started these sessions, right? So let me share my screen. Let me know when you're able to see this.
Yes, sir, we can see it.
Good. So what is the number of people we have in today's call? 15 around?
Yes.
Okay. And may I know, like, roughly what all different branches these people are from?
Sir, actually, they are from different branches, like CSC, electronics.
Okay. 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 So all of these are like students of which year? Third year, fourth year, second year?
Sir, mainly they are of second year.
Second year. Okay, great. So I would like to hear from you, like, what do you guys know about why you have opted engineering as a career or, as a education you wanted to take up, right? So that would help me in setting the tone for the session. Of course, I have a presentation. I have what are the different options you want to know, but I want this to be an interactive session. Towards the end, we would go through those details. But roughly, can each one of you just tell your name, your year and your branch, if it is okay with you? Ganga Prasad, can we start with you?
Yes, sir. I'm myself Ganga Prasad. I'm from third year electronics and telecommunication.
Third year?
Electronics and telecommunication.
Electronics and communication. Okay. Wow. Who wants to go next? Shall I call out names? Archit Patil. Devesh.
Hi, sir. I am from second year ENTC.
ENTC. Okay. Nyaneshwar. Okay. Second year CSC. Okay. Gayatri.
Hello, sir. I'm in second year and production branch.
Great. Fantastic. Manoj.
Hello, sir. Good evening. My name is Manoj Godke. I'm from third year IT.
Okay. Maruti Mohite. Okay. Second year electrical. Got it. Rohit Kumar Chaudhary.
Sir, I am from second year computer science and engineering.
Okay. Rohit Patil. Okay. Prajwal.
Hello, sir. My name is Prajwal Goy. I'm from second year CSE.
Okay. Varad.
Good evening, sir. My name is Varad Milind Deshpande, and I'm from second year. And my branch is Electronics and Telecommunication.
Great. Great. Yash Raut.
Hello, sir. I'm Yash from third year mechanical.
Good. Shashikant. Okay. Rohit Patil. Okay. Great. So for others, I would assume that you are from different branches. So I see a mix of mechanical, production, and computer science, and ENTC, electronics, etc. Good to know about all of you. As a batch, I know like we are from second and third year majorly. So I think Rohit has already introduced about me. So I've been associated with various educational tech institutes like Upgrad, IMS Pro, and as part of that, I guide professionals and freshers on what they can do as a career options. So that is something which I would like to carry out and do this for students of Guru Gobind Singh College. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to say a few words that not everyone chooses a career in engineering just because he was thinking of it from his early days, right? So people join because they were interested in mathematics, sciences, physics. And then people join engineering because, that's a cool thing to do. As many people, either they prefer engineering or they go for medicine, right? These two seems to be the only options we have as children who are brought up in middle class families. Most of the times, either we take science or maths or, biology. No, we are afraid of taking anything else. So naturally, those who are on the math side and science side, they go for engineering. And those who are on the bio side, probably they go for B Pharma and then probably BMS or BDA or the MBBS path. So like every branch you take, right, it has its own core jobs, and it also has some IT jobs which are kind of common across all branches. Am I correct? Guys, you need to be responsive, otherwise it would be like I'm speaking to walls.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I don't prefer a monologue. I like people to talk when I'm asking something. If you don't understand something, please raise a hand or type in the chat window. If you are having any questions, do let me know and we can take that questions also. So typically, what after BTech? Engineer to ban gaya main, aage kya hai? Is it question which bothers many people? Or I'm in second year, third year, I'm not sure where to go. I just took mechanical engineering because I didn't get computer science. I just took computer science because I see a lot of scope for jobs. How many of you have done this? Be honest. Most of the Indian people or most of the Indian students do this to satisfy their parents or to meet the society demands. They usually take up a branch which is in demand in the market, or they take up a branch which is kind of, heavily having good placement record in a college, or they take up because they had nothing else to do and their parents want them to do engineering, so they are doing. So broadly, I can categorize people into these three categories. Am I correct? Okay. How many of you really wanted to do engineering, to change the world, to make people's life easy? How many of us are like that here? Yes, Raut says he is one. Okay, good. Anyone else? Okay. So I want every one of you to type what fascinates you or what is that thing which you like in your branch. So basically, if you are a computer science guy, if you're an electronics guy, if you are a mechanical guy or a product, production guy or girl, or whether you are a civil engineer, what is that one thing which you like about your branch? And that is the reason why which you are studying that. I would have loved to do this session in person because I want to see your faces. Is there a way you can switch on your videos? I'd really appreciate if you can do that because I like to speak to people upfront. No one wants to go on video, that's fine. But what about my question? How many of you like something about the branch you're working? Are you not passionate even an iota about what you are studying? You are, I'm sure. That's why you're studying, right? So what is that which excites you about the branch? Nothing? Rohit, what about you?
Yes, sir.
What excites you to do CS or electronics?
Sir, first of all, that CS branch has a huge scope and you can enter in any of the reputed branches such as AI and data sciences, which are the kind of future. And even you can enter into the fields such as aerospace and robotics.
Good, good. Okay, cool. Yeah, what about you, Mayuri? Huh? What was her name? Neha? What is that thing which excites you about your branch?
Sir, it is a very dynamic branch, means things keep changing a lot. So we get to learn a lot of new things.
So what is your branch, by the way?
Computer science.
Computer science, cool. Okay, Gayatri, what about you? Okay, Ganesh, Bhushan. Okay, so I see that some of you are clear about why you have joined a branch, while some of you are still figuring out why you joined that branch, or you are kind of people who go with the flow, like Jo mila usme hi hum bhala karenge. We will do the best from what we got. I understand that part. That's not a problem because many of us who are from middle class families, we need to strive to make ends meet. We need to have a good job, and that's the reason we study, not because something is of passion, etc. Right? And I completely agree with you on that part, and so did I at some point in my life. But somehow I was not very inclined to do engineering, so I did my master's in physics from IIT Roorkee. So let me speak to you because what goes in the mind of people who are in first or second year typically is like, what after engineering? What if, should I go for a job? Should I go for higher education? Should I prepare for government exams? Should I prepare for civil services? But actually, I like photography. I love dancing. Singing is my passion. I love to do something else. How many of you have gone through such emotions? No one? Okay. Okay, you have gone through that emotion, right? Right. So let me discuss some opportunities which every one of you would have as an engineering student. Okay. And then we'll go into the depth of how you can pursue those opportunities. Okay. So especially if you are someone from a middle class family or lower middle class family or a poor family, the first priority for you should be to see that how you can raise your financial, status, or basically improve your financial status, right? So that's what would linger in our minds when we are talking about, the branch or the job we need to take up, right? We may have to support our family. There could be dependents, sisters, brothers to get married or, to make them settled. These are typical things which we encounter in every most of the middle class families, right? So I completely agree with that. So we are not guys who go with our passion. but we go with our reasoning, we go with our need, we go with our need for our families, right? So we need to support them, we need to take care of them. That's how we get to do ends meet. And that's the reason I say that if your passion can get you a good job and a good paycheck, go for it. If not, maybe you need to do something tangible. Maybe you need to take up a job which supports your family, right? We can't go ahead and say that, I love dancing, but to establish yourself in the dancing as a profession, probably you may have to struggle for years. You may ultimately go to the top, but that may take years, right? So would that be a logical sense is something which we need to decide, individually. Would it be helpful for me to support my family is something which we need to decide individually. So remember one thing, I'm here, I can share all the details you want, but I want to share some philosophy behind life as well today, because at every juncture in our life, we have a choice, okay? We have a choice to do A, B, C, D, anything. Depending upon the choice we make in our life, our future path gets unfolded, right? So when you cleared your 10th class, you had a choice to go for science or arts or commerce, correct? So you made a choice for sciences. Then you had a choice, whether should I go for biology or should I go for mathematics, physics? You made your choice, you entered mathematics, physics. Then you went for another choice, engineering, which branch? Civil, mechanical, electronics, computer science, right? So based on some research which you have done from your friends, family, you have chosen a particular branch, or based upon your AIEEE rank or your NEET rank or your whatever state board rank, you have joined a particular college. Among the colleges also, you had to make a choice during the, what do you call, counseling? What is that session called? Where you have to pick and choose a college, right? So basically you have to choose, should I go for Guru Gobind Singh College or should I go for, cap round, he says. So thanks for that. So basically you have to choose, should I go for Amba Jogai Engineering College or should I go for Nanded Engineering College, like that, right? So you had a choice and you made it, right? So at every stage, based upon the choice you make, you basically base your choice on few factors. It could be reputation of the college, reputation of the branch, reputation of the placements for that branch, and then it also gets aligned with your rank you score in that particular competitive exam, correct? So today you are at a position where you have made all choices you had. Now you have good 3 to 4 years in front of you, and now is the base when you need to make a foundation for where you want to go from here. Because once you complete this professional course, you would be stepping out of college, right? Now you have this good 4 years to make a decision. If you want to go for higher studies, if you want to go for job, private job, government job, or any business, or you want to pursue higher studies abroad, these are several things which would ring in your mind. Am I correct? How many of you have these questions? I would take a snapshot of this slide if you want. Okay. So basically, there are a lot of options for you to choose from. And as a second year or third year student, you can certainly make a mark for yourself. Okay. Let's take a snapshot. So typically, if you are from a tier 3 college or a college which is of not great reputation, I recommend people to go for higher studies. If you go for MTech, you can go for MS and PhD. These are some options which you can go for, and MBA is another option. Okay. Now, coming to MBA or MTech, don't do it from any simple colleges or tier 1, tier 2 colleges. Go for tier 1 colleges. So when I say tier 1 colleges, I mean like NITs, BITS Pilani, or IITs, stuff like that. Okay. And for you to do an MTech, you have to have a good GMAT score. Sorry, you have to have a good GATE score. Okay. So if I were you, I would definitely prepare for GATE exam. Why? Because GATE exam opens multiple avenues for me. Okay. It opens avenues not only for higher studies at Tier 1 institutes, but there are so many public companies or government companies which basically give you an entry based upon GATE score. Okay. And if you start preparing from second or third year onwards, believe me, you definitely have good chances of making it to top 100 or 200. Okay. It's not that difficult if you know what you're doing, right? And you should also know that you can pursue MTech not only in the core branch in which you are currently studying, but you can grow across branches also. There is something like data science, machine learning, applied intelligence. There's something like cyber security. There's something like blockchain. These are some interesting emerging areas which are in the demand. Okay. It's not that only CS students can pursue these courses. Any engineering graduate can pursue these courses. Okay. So there are some PG diploma courses by renowned institutes like Upgrad, and I don't recommend any brand, but I'm just saying you. Okay. And then there are these courses which are set up in association with IITs these days. Okay. And if you are someone who is interested in AI, ML, machine learning, data science, etc., believe me, any branch would have applications of AI, ML, data science in every area, whether it is civil engineering, whether it is mechanical engineering, whether it's electronics, whether it is computer science, all areas would be influenced by machine learning and AI. So when I was working at Bank of New York and Mellon, my superior, she was a PhD in civil engineering, and she was working on AI related technologies because she was working on sensor data which is emanated from a bridge. So basically in foreign countries, your bridges have the capability to bear some kind of load, right? So whether the bridge is doing properly or not, whether it requires some predictive maintenance. So in order to know that these bridges keep transmitting data on their tensile strength and many other things. Okay. So even today, high-end cars, they have predictive maintenance signals which are thrown at you. How many of you know that when a car is due for a service, you get reminder. When some part of the car is, degrading in its quality, then you get a alert saying that, your car is due for a maintenance. Some of the parts are, not functioning as expected. So these, do you think now car manufacturing, does it come under mechanical engineering? Can some of you say yes or no to that? Yeah. Tesla is one company which uses AI. Not only Tesla, there are many companies now. Mercedes-Benz has its own AI unit in Bangalore. Okay. So every car, every high-end car, or those, not only in mechanical, so not completely, but earlier manual cars, they were all mechanical. Now the cars have become so smart, you don't need a key to open the car. You just have to be near in the vicinity because there are sensors, right? There are softwares which will decide what temperature should be outside, what should be inside. There are softwares which can remind you of many things, which can tell you about how far a particular target is, right? So there are also self-driving cars these days. So there are deep learning models which are trained on lot of images of, lot of videos of cars, lot of images of cars to understand how to drive themselves, right? So you see all these branches are coming together. Mechanical is getting with electrical, electrical is getting intertwined with AI and machine learning, and there's a lot of code behind that, which is computer science. So as you grow beyond the branches, right, you see that one branch is occupied with another branches. Everything is getting combined. So there are applications of all these branches put together in a high-end Tesla car. So you see a lot of electronics there, you see a lot of computer science code there, AI ML is there, then there is mechanics also around it. So when you start growing to the higher levels, you see that the calculus and the mathematics which you learned, right, will make sense when we are applying, machine learning there, right? So it's a multidisciplinary area. So many times we fail to understand, why did I study trigonometry? Why did I study geometry? Why did I study, anything, analytical geometry or trigonometry or calculus? Iska kahan application hai? We feel that, right? But as you grow and you start studying things beyond your immediate branch level and you go in higher studies, you try to see that disciplines converge towards some point. And there is a lot of application of mathematics in day-to-day life. There are patterns which all can be understood. So AI, ML, actually the base for it is mathematics, right? But it spans across various branches. Therefore, if you are someone who are eager to study and you have the support from the family side, I would definitely recommend go for higher studies, like pursuing an MS from abroad or pursuing an MTech from a top-notch institutes like IIT, NIT, etc. One, you get a lot of exposure of the world, you get a lot of knowledge. Two, you also stand a good placement chance. You stand with 3 lakhs package in your college. Probably if you go to IIT, you may get something around 6 lakhs. Maybe you will grow the same level from 3 to 5 lakhs when you stay put with the company, if you get a job. Otherwise, you will learn and you will increase your potential to get a better salary package. That's what can happen when you go for higher studies. Point number 1 about higher studies. Point number 2 about getting placement from college. Now it depends from college to college what kind of placement records they have for each branch. Some colleges may have good placement record for computer science, or some colleges may have good placement record for civil or mechanical. But one thing is common. IT companies recruit people from all disciplines. You take a Capgemini, you speak of TCS, you speak of Infosys, you speak of Wipro, you speak of Cognizant, you speak of Accenture. Most of these companies would look for people from a tier 2, tier 3 institutes as well. So what are the companies which come for recruitment at your college for CS, non-CS students, software companies? Can someone just list out few names? None? Deloitte, wow, that's a good one. TCS, cool. Okay, so these are all multinational companies which come to your college. Accenture, Wipro, Infy, good. So all this, Goldman Sachs, wow. I was not sure. NVIDIA. So yours is one of the good tier 2 colleges then. So you have good reputed companies visiting. HCL, Persistent, cool. Lot of good IT companies. And I'm sure most of them are open for people across the branches. Am I correct? Cool. So most of these companies, when they are recruiting, they know that your coding standards or your coding abilities may not be top-notch, but they know that you have the ability to learn and deliver, right? So that's why when they are screening you for these placements, they look for typically few skills. Do you have the ability to reason or create logic, develop logic? That is logical reasoning. Second, they look for your attitude and aptitude. Do you have that attitude, positive attitude towards things that I can do it? Okay. Third thing which they look at is your English comprehension. How much? So basically, whenever you are working in multinationals, you work with people across geographies. So you have to understand the emails. You have to understand the context around those. Therefore, your English speaking, English writing abilities and to digest the information in English becomes very, very, very crucial. Love it or hate it, English is indispensable. Okay. So you cannot do away without proper English. Maybe you can, but you cannot go for long term without having a good command in English. Okay, so good comprehension skills. So they give you big paragraphs and they ask you questions from that, and they probably ask you some probing questions from that. So if you are someone, there is a book called as Quantitative Aptitude by R.S. Agarwal. You might have heard this book, but I would say strongly recommend this book, that you should start looking at this book from your second year onwards. If you are looking for placements, if you are looking for MBA kind of jobs, this is a very basic book, which I would say that you should have completed by the time you complete your second year, and then you revise it in the third year or fourth year again. Okay. And if you are someone who are averse to coding, who don't know how to code, especially those who are from civil engineering, mechanical engineering, those who have not learned computer science, I would say that take a minor course. Do you have something like choosing a minor course or optional course in your college? Yes, no? So you do have, right? So I would say all of you learn at least C++, Java, or something of object-oriented programming, or Python if they have introduced it in your college. Okay. So Python is a very in-demand skill these days. So college has provided Coursera. Okay, good. So you can do these basic coding courses, understand how things work, because what happens is many a times I see, because I am at a senior manager level, there are many analysts who join Accenture. Some of them lack basic coding skills as well, right? So if you are looking for an entry into IT software job and you are not from a CS background, even though if you are from a CS background, sometimes I see people that they just mug up the codes to clear the exams. That's not how you have to be. Okay, you have to develop the ability to write a logic for a given function. Okay, so you need to learn that, and believe me, practice and practice and practice alone helps you in doing that. Okay, so the more you write small chunks of code, it could be writing a code for print an odd number, even number, print a print number, print a palindrome, make a reverse of a number, or it could be a code for recursion. It could be a code for factorial. Okay, so these are considered as small basic coding blocks, which everyone who aspire to enter into a software job should know how to do that. Okay, and especially for those who are from CS background, I would say go a higher notch, find out what is the order of complexity with which you are writing the code. Is it n square? Is it n? Is it square root of n? So how complex the code is, or how much time more it consumes. These are some things which we need to definitely take a look at. Okay, so I can write the same code which will run in 1 minute versus 10 seconds. Okay, I would like to take a pause here, and I'm open for questions here. So if anyone of you have any questions around this, I would take. So I covered basically higher studies part, and then I covered the private jobs part, especially IT jobs. Okay, and there is few things which I would like to discuss before I open it for questions. I think we are at the top of the hour. I didn't realize. Yeah. So basically, for higher studies, MTech, good GATE score to get into top-notch institutes. If you want to go for an MBA, I would recommend institutes like IIM, institutes like Narsi Monji, and of that kind. IITs also have their own management exam, which every IIT has together or separate. So you need to do a bit of research on that. But MBAs can be done from IITs as well, and they have a good reputation too. Okay, so you can take that. And MTech I have spoken about. MS, you can try for foreign institutes. So the requirement would be GRE or TOEFL exam. So you have to have a good GRE score, and you need to have a good TOEFL score. And if you want to pursue higher studies from Europe, you have to go for IELTS. Okay, IELTS from Australia or Europe. And if you want to go for a PhD, identify the area where you want to go. I would say go for MTech and then PhD, but some institutes in foreign countries would definitely provide you with an option, provided you have a good background, publish few papers in the area where you want to go for PhD. As an alternative, I also told you about doing PG diploma in the emerging areas like data science, AI, ML, cybersecurity, blockchain. These are some very interesting areas which you can take part in. Then I was talking about private jobs. So most of the branches will have IT bar software jobs, and some core jobs would be there for core companies. For example, companies like NVIDIA may be wanting electronics guys or electrical guys to, look for them. Then there are IT specific companies who want people only from CS branches. And then there are some mechanical specific companies. So if you are someone who is very much fond of your branch, please go and hunt for the core jobs. Otherwise, I would say as an alternative, everyone should have taken one computer course in Python or C++ or Java and be ready for IT companies as well. Because campus placements are your best chance to land up in a job. The next best chance would be off-campus interviews. The third best would be like creating a profile for yourself. So there are sites like HackerRank, Relevel. They give you an environment to appear for coding hackathons, challenges, coding challenges, etc. You can create a GitHub profile, okay? And that profile would help you showcasing that you have done a lot of work and you know your stuff very well. Is that clear to everyone? So far, so good. All of with me? Rohit, Ganga Prasad?
Yes, sir, all right.
Yes.
Good. For IT jobs, usually on campus and off campus for freshers, what they look for is logical reasoning, English comprehension, aptitude, and some basic coding blocks knowledge. So there are sites like LeetCode, InterviewBit. They have code pieces of different complexity, easy, intermediate, complex. So if you have time, definitely engineering guys have time. They don't spend entire time, on doing their coursework. They have time. They should utilize to hone their skills on the coding, especially on the LeetCode, InterviewBit, etc. You are from a core branch and you like something on core. If you are from electronics, you like robotics, pursue something on robotics from Coursera, pursue something practical. I'm sure you can use internet to the best of your abilities. There is a lot of things wide open these days. You are not confined just to your college to help you out. There is a lot of knowledge outside also. It's only that you need to focus on what you want and how to go there. If you know that, there are ample of opportunities to learn stuff and then showcase it. Is that clear? Okay. The third aspect is like government jobs. So you might have heard about MPSC, UPSC, right? These are like administrative jobs. And as part of UPSC, there is IES, Indian Engineering Services, which is also similar to IRS or IFS or IAS, okay? So if you are someone who likes to do that, who wants to build the country from scratch through your knowledge, then that is one area. But I would recommend this for people who have at least 2 years after engineering, 2 to 3 years, because this would require good amount of preparation. It depends upon what subjects you choose as options in your UPSC exams. I see many people waste 3-4 years and then they are nowhere. Okay. So if you want to give a choice, couple of years, not more than that. And Delhi is the best place for coaching if you want to pursue. Don't waste your time here and there. Delhi is the right place if you want to get good coaching for IAS or IPS or IFS or IES, etc. Okay. So in Delhi, you will find a lot of coaching institutes doing that. And believe me, your life, you should forget about many things if you are, pursuing this, because you have to be focused, damn focused on what you want. So probably you'll sleep for 5 to 6 hours, but rest of the time you are studying. Okay. If you're someone like that, then definitely go for it. There's nothing like building the nation. Next thing is people who are fond of army. So you have army, you have Air Force, you have Navy, right? So you are not going to fight the wars, but there are many branches within the army, within the Air Force, within the Navy, which require engineering services. And there are exams which help you giving an attempt at it. Of course, there will be physical and other stuff also, apart from written exam. But these are the exams. Like for Army, you have University Entry Scheme. You have SSA, you have NDA at your 12th class level, okay? Then you have SSB, Staff Selection Board. For Air Force, you have AFCAT, which is Air Force Common Admission Test. Then you have Short Service Commission, okay? So these are some entrance exams and then followed by physical and interview exams. Another option if you want to go for research is DRDO and BARC. DRDO is Defense Research, BARC is Baba Atomic Research Center. Well-known institutes for their science and research and on the engineering side as well. Okay. Then you have your banks. Okay. So banks have core engineering services. They also have bank probationary officer. Everyone who is a graduate can take these exams and clear these exams. And then there is teaching. Teaching helps you share your knowledge. If you are someone who is fond of teaching, loves passion, I would say go for at least an MTech and then go for teaching. Otherwise, you can find jobs if are teaching in engineering colleges, but they may not pay you as much as you wanted. But let me tell you, salary or paycheck is not the source of happiness always, right? Salary and money helps you in meeting the needs, but beyond a certain mark, money is not which gives you happiness. It is satisfaction. So if you are someone who loves teaching, who finds satisfaction in teaching, then money should not be the criteria. At the end of the day, if you are satisfied with what you are helping the society with, if you are satisfied with the money you are getting, then teaching is definitely a job you can look for. Okay. But for that also, I advise go for an MTech. But yeah, if there is a dire need and you love teaching, there are many people who are doing wonders with very less package. Okay, they probably hardly earn 50,000 per month, but still they are making a difference. Okay, so if you are content, if you are satisfied, then definitely teaching is another option. Then there is out-of-box thinking, which I call as entrepreneurship. Don't be a job seeker, but be a job provider, right? Many a times, being in IT world, I have seen people who run this chai ka thela, right? They run this what do you call? I don't know in Marathi what they call is. They gada, right? They earn more than the software engineers sometimes. Okay. What they do is whole day they sell, chai, pakoda, and samosas, etc. But they have a job of their own. I'm not saying that you should go for it. I'm saying there are many things which you can do as an educated fellow. Those are not educated, but you can. There is a different, kick to it when you are an entrepreneur yourself. People are doing a lot of research on agriculture and implementing those techniques. So if you are someone from an agriculture background, right, you have farm, so you can see how you can, implement innovative methods in farming and grow big capacity of new farming techniques which you can put in your farm and get good growth for any produce you are doing. There are imported fruits, imported crops. There are many things. You might have seen some YouTube videos, right? People who are making decent in their career have gone back to their village and started something afresh. Okay. So believe me, my friends, when you don't get a campus placement, when you don't have a government job, it's not the end of the world. Maybe there is something great which is awaiting you. You just have to channel your direction towards that. We all are, हमारी एक mentality हो चुकी है. पढ़ाई किया, जॉब किया, बस जिंदगी भर नौकरी की. ऐसा नहीं होता, right? If all do jobs, there should be someone who create jobs also, right? So entrepreneurship. I have known engineering friends who have opened gyms and are guiding people on food and nutrition because that is the need of the hour today. Everyone has money, but they don't have proper nutrition. They don't have proper food. So fitness is an industry which is growing humongous. So if you have resources, do some food and nutrition training, establish some gym, become an entrepreneur. If you are someone who sees a good scope for a good restaurant or a good amusement center in your place, you have resources, start up that. Sabko job karna aisa zaruri nahi hai. If you have funding, there are a lot of funds available under Startup India scheme by the government of India now. So if you are someone who has that potential to set up an enterprise, go ahead, do that. Don't say that, naukri nahi mili to kuch nahi hua zindagi mein. Aisa nahi hai. You can do a lot of things even without job. Okay, probably much more than what a job can give you in terms of monetary satisfaction. Okay, so entrepreneurship is another area. Hospitality, fitness, digital marketing, and digital marketing is something which you can do from your home as well. And let me tell you, after few years, there would be only contract hires. There would not be any permanent jobs of kind of thing, at least in the private sector. So if you have good skills, irrespective of which college you are from, top tier or bottom tier, doesn't matter. But that would take some time. No matter from which college you are, if you have the skills, you have to show up those skills. You have to show up to the world. So LinkedIn is a good social platform for professionals. So make some good connections on LinkedIn, create a profile, have your GitHub profile. If you are from IT background, share that GitHub profile link on your LinkedIn page. Okay. Use internet for benefit of your career, not for wasting time. Okay. So utilize it as much as it helps in your career. Be focused, practice some meditation, read some good books to understand the value of life. Books like Bhagavad Gita, they definitely help you in keeping your calm. They help you in bringing up the best in you. Okay. So always try to gain knowledge from books. There are so many people who have written their experiences, shared their experiences, which will go a long in your life to help you out in achieving something tremendous, something huge, something beyond your just 9-to-5 job. Okay. So these are this is another snapshot. If you want, you can take. These are some PSUs which are recruiting on the basis of GATE, and some PSUs which are recruiting based upon their own criteria. These are some companies. I want you to take a screenshot of this slide, and maybe then you can, do a bit of more research on how to get entry into these kind of government companies. So I'll take a pause for you to take a screenshot. Just let me know when you are done with taking the picture. Are we done? Okay, cool. Sure. So last but not the least, do what you love and success will follow. Passion is the fuel behind your successful career. And I would like to say you one thing. If something is your passion or not, does not matter once you have taken that path. If you have taken that path, do your best on that path. ठीक है? अगर मैंने कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग चुन लिया है, मेरा पसंद हो या ना हो, लेकिन अगर एक बार चुन लिया है तो पूरे मन से करो, बीच में नहीं छोड़ना. ठीक है? Until you have the comfort of leaving that and doing something you love. Do you agree with this? Once you have the required comfort of pursuing your passion, it does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop, because that would help you in eventually reaching the destination. Am I clear? Okay. Yes. So there is nothing impossible. It just, the word says, I am possible. Okay. So if you love something from your heart and your situation permits you to do what you are passionate now, go ahead and do it. If your situations do not permit you, make the best of what situation you are in today. If you are in a branch which you don't like, but you are part of it, leave that you didn't like it at some time. Now you start liking it. You start better liking it, because that's where your career is going to unfold. If you have some financial liabilities or financial dependencies, your passion may not fulfill your responsibilities towards it, right? So you definitely would get a chance to pursue that, but you would need to spend some time doing the needful and then probably go towards it. Okay. So slowly you can take steps towards this passion while you are pursuing your responsibility. It's not like you give up on your responsibility to pursue your passion. That's not who we are. We are Indians. We have our responsibilities towards our family. We have some responsibility towards our society as well. So let's give our best shot with whatever situation we are in, while we also take some baby steps towards satisfying our core passion. And if we are not passionate about what we are doing, don't be remorseful. Be spirited about it and do it with good liking. Eventually, you never know, probably you'll start liking it as well, right? So शुरुआत में बहुत कुछ चीज हमको नया लगता है, शायद हमको पसंद भी नहीं आए, लेकिन अगर हम मन से करें उसे, if we try to do it with full heart, then you start liking it. Okay, many a times we are not sure about in our life what to do and what not to, and you choose a path. Now stick to it. Okay, maybe you can do something you love at a later point. There are many people who I know have loved music, have loved dancing, but they are successful in IT, and then probably down the line after 15-20 years or after 10 years, they do both. They pursue things together. Why? Because they have come to a comfort zone now. If they want, they can leave their jobs and go to dancing completely, right? But believe me, these professions work probably not even 1 in a million sometimes. Sab koi Michael Jackson nahi ban sakte, right? So don't have that kind of dogma in your mind. Do the best with the situation you are in. And you have a lot of options in front of you. Higher studies is one option. In the higher studies, you have MTech, MBA, MS, PhD, or doing any PG diploma in the emerging areas like blockchain, data science, AI, ML. Second thing is go for campus placements. That is the best shot for you. That would give you a good job opportunities. Third thing would be you can become a good teacher if you love teaching. The fourth thing is entrepreneurship. And then I spoke also about a lot of PSUs and government companies which recruit people on the basis of GATE score. So if you are someone who love to have a government job and who love to be part of these great PSUs, start focusing on GATE right from second year. It is in your hands. It is not gone beyond your hands. 3 साल का समय काफी होता है किसी भी डैम एग्जाम को क्रैक करने के लिए, right? So I think it's valid for 2 years. So give in your 3rd year, give in your 4th year that GATE exam, test yourself how much water you are in, and that would help you realize where you need to work on. Okay, so the takeaways for someone who is part of this session is life is not always a linear straight line. You may have to take crossroads, but ultimately you have to reach the destination. Okay, the career unfolds. That's why if you look at the first slide, which I was sharing, right? This one, it's not linear, right? Sometimes you have high, sometimes you have up, sometimes you are flat, but ultimately you have to reach your destination. Is that clear? So with that, I would stop here and I would be open to take any questions. And yeah, that's how I would like to carry it further.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I have a question. Like, what should we choose? MTech from like IIT Bombay or like entrepreneurship?
Good question. So what do you like?
I like entrepreneurship.
Do you have the resources? I mean, money, and etc. things to make it for you?
I have everything except money.
You have everything except money.
Yeah.
So I would say that get that money first by probably doing an MTech from a good institute like IIT Bombay, get a good job, and then get some money, accrue some money, and then probably after a few years, you can set up your own enterprise. Or if your family doesn't need your financial help for the next 5 years, and you are okay to experiment with starting up some venture with loan from the government, that is also a good start. So whichever you think you are comfortable with at this stage, take that path.
I think like somehow I can arrange little bit, but I think that will not be enough, right?
Right. For entrepreneurship, you have to have a good idea of what you want to do. If you are clear with that, then you look for arranging resources in terms of money, people, etc. needed. If both of these things work out, you can go ahead and do entrepreneurship. Okay.
Actually, sir, I joined IIT Bombay biomedical engineering. Like, I'm not sure about like continue or to continue or not continue. So,
if you are in an eminent institute like IIT Bombay, please continue. And medical engineering is definitely an area which is going by leaps and bounds. Okay. So if you find some good placement in any biomedical company or a biotechnology company, do go through that. And I'm sure there are a lot of applications of statistics, AI, ML in that area. Okay. So just figure out, work for some years. Even if you want to set up an enterprise of your own, you should have some work experience with some good companies. Okay.
okay.
Don't drop out from IIT Bombay. There won't be anything worse than that. Okay. We may have people like Mark Zuckerberg who dropped from college, or Jeff Bezos who dropped from college, but it is difficult to become one. Okay. It's not that easy. Like, you drop out from college and, set up things for yourself. It's like taking risks. Hua to sab kuch, nahi hua to kuch bhi nahi. That kind of a thing. If you have that kind of attitude, risk attitude,
Yes,
to
sir.
kar sakte ho.
Already, sir. Actually, sir, I postponed my first semester, so I was not clear. Like, first I continued for half semester, then I was not clear, so I postponed. Still, I am
Let me tell
confused.
you, you go to IIT Bombay, your exposure towards life will get different. Okay.
I was there, sir. Like,
so what did you feel?
1.25 half month. No, actually, life is very good at IIT Bombay. It's fantastic.
I know who is speaking. Sorry.
This is Mukesh, sir.
Yeah, Mukesh. Mukesh, I would say that, go ahead, complete that, have that IIT Bombay tag on your resume. Even if you go for entrepreneurship, tomorrow, if something doesn't work out your way, you can always come back to industry and take up a job if you have the IIT tag with you.
Yes.
And this is an IITian speaking, so I hope you can trust me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Next.
Sir, my question is regarding the higher education or
Name
applying for a
first,
job.
please. Name, introduce your name, tell your name and then ask.
Sorry, sir. I am Rohit Kumar Chaudhary from Second Year Computer Science and Engineering. Sir, my question is regarding taking a job or pursuing for higher education. So I was thinking that I can take a job and simultaneously prepare for the GATE examination and then go for higher education. So what should I prefer?
Sure. See, why do you want to do higher education? That's an important thing to know.
As we belong to a tier 3 college, so it is very difficult to have a better job opportunities or better exposure. So if we get a higher education from some reputed institute, then we can get a better exposure and better job opportunities.
Sure. So let me tell you, do some research on the kind of packages which these IT companies offer at IITs versus tier 2 colleges, tier 3 colleges. Okay. So if you get a good opportunity, sometimes, your experience, if it is all related to the money, right? If your experience is 2 years, probably you will double your package if you switch a company from one company to the other. Okay. So you have to see the odds of, getting it. So if you get something like IIT Bombay, close your eyes and go. If you get some IITs, probably you can go there. There's no doubt about it. Okay. But yeah, again, you have to see what is the average package offered there. Okay. And that's one thing. Point number 2 is if you want to go for an MBA, right? Getting industry experience of 2-3 years and then going for IIM or, Narsi Monji or institutes like Accelera, Jamshedpur. These are all top-notch institutes, or MBA from IITs is also a good opportunity. Okay. So if you are someone who wants to go into academics or you want to pursue a research, then I would recommend MTech. If you are someone who is looking for a better package or better exposure, then I would recommend for MBA 2-3 years down the line after getting required experience. Does that answer your question, right?
Yes, sir, but I don't want to enter in some non-technical fields, such as I just want to stick with the technical field of engineering.
Yeah, you can. You expressed your interest in data science, ML, etc., right?
Yes.
So you can pursue an MBA with business analytics as a specialization. There are options for that.
Okay,
So
sir.
MBA with digital marketing, MBA with digital transformation, MBA with analytics and data science, AI, ML. These are some emerging areas within MBA as well. And believe me, if you want to do great in data science, AI, ML, you need to have good business knowledge also. And that's the reason I did my advanced management program in business analytics from Indian School of Business, which is one of the premier schools in Asia. It's a management school, but it teaches you data science, AI, ML. Okay. So as I said, as you grow the career, there are very fine lines. There's not much difference between how you do things, right? It's not like it's non-technical. Even an MBA guy, if he has good background in AI, ML, and background in mathematics, he can still pursue technical work if he wants. But if you're a guy who wants to get into tech things like Facebook and Microsoft, these kind of things, then probably you have to go the MTech path. So these companies, these are hardcore product tech companies. So they want people who are good at data structures, algorithms, who are good at, linked lists and all this stuff, optimization, performance tuning of the algorithms. Okay. What is the complexity of the algorithm? These are things which are asked in top level tech product companies like Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, FANG companies, right? So if you are someone who wants to do hardcore tech job, then improve your coding skills, compete on the interview bit, lead code, these kind of websites, and then prove yourself, because these days, if you have these kind of profiles on interview bit, lead code, GitHub, right? Tech companies would love your profile and they would recruit you. Okay. So go ahead. If you get these jobs, you can still continue learning things and then probably look for companies like Microsoft and, hard tech companies, which are core into technicals. Services companies are not that, strong in technology sometimes. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
I'm looking at a question from Khurana, Yesh Khurana. If I got a job in an emerging tech with low package and one from old tech with more package, what should I choose? Do you think companies reveal you the technology which you would be working with? Yes, I doubt that. Do they inform you? Even if they tell you during the placement, even they themselves will not be sure. They may lie, or they may give you some dreams. And after joining, you'll realize you are working on something very, very simple, right? Like pasting from Micropoint, PowerPoint to Excel sheet, something like that. It may happen, okay? So when you get a placement, take it if you need a job. Don't worry about technology, because someone may give you a false dream that you are working in a latest technology, and someone may say that, you are going to work on mainframe COBOL, something like that. Koi mainframe COBOL aise nahi bolega. Okay? They'll say you have to work with opportunities. If you already have these opportunities, you can let me know the company names and I can tell you whether they are into latest tech or the old tech. Or is it a hypothetical question? Yes. Yes, is it a hypothetical question or is it a true question you're asking? If it is a hypothetical question, okay. If it is a true question, let me know the two companies' name. If you have the company's name, ping me on the chat window. Meanwhile, I'm switching on to another question from Prasad. Can you explain about blockchain technology and its feature? Blockchain is an emerging technology. It has a good scope. Learn about it on the net. There are so many videos. On Coursera, there are courses. On Udemy, there are courses. I may take hours together if I have to explain you anything here. We are already on the top of our. So Prasad, do your diligent research on this. It's a good field to be in. There are some certifications also you can take. Okay, anything else? Any other questions? I'm here for another 2-3 minutes, so let's ask any questions. And regarding Yash, if you have figured out what those companies are, let me know. Because you said it is true, right? So you might be knowing the company names. So you can share that. One is a startup giving more package, and one is a company which has a big name. Good. And which company promised you, a startup might have promised you latest technology? Or is a startup, okay, why is he afraid of speaking? He can speak in any language. I'm okay with English, Hindi, Marathi, Telugu also. अरे प्रश्न है, पूछना है, अगर पब्लिक फोरम में पूछ नहीं सकोगे तो कैसे? Indian Oil Corporation Limited, National Thermal Power Center, NTPC, IOCL is Indian Oil Corporation Limited. ठीक है, Yash, I think we can connect later probably through your friends who organize this program, and you can let me know the details. But in startup company, lot of work and lot of responsibilities and lot to learn. In established companies, good training would be there, but responsibility wise and learning wise, probably a little lesser. But if you are up for a startup, go ahead. In general, that's what I can say until I know the details. Okay. Okay, so any other final question? Good. So looks like we are done with the questions here today. Thanks everyone for listening to me patiently. I hope I could add some value to your knowledge, and I hope that you have successful careers and you start preparing to make a career right from today instead of waiting for the day when the company comes for on campus. Okay, don't delay it till 4th year. Start preparing from the 2nd year itself. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving your esteemed association for us. And many of the points that you mentioned were really very much relevant, and we were just ignoring those things. Such as you mentioned that we can even go into some bank field and some teaching field. That engineers can completely ignore those fields because they think that we are engineers, we should make some technical kind of field. But there also we have some scope, and the most important aspect that we completely ignore the quantitative aptitude and reasoning part. So over there, many of the students fail. And after that, about the entrepreneurship, you mentioned that we should be doing entrepreneurship based on a passion, but we should not leave our responsibilities. Those are all the points that I like too much. And I'm thankful to you for giving your kind association and looking forward to have association again.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
sir.
Thanks, Ganga Prasad and everyone. It was nice interacting with you all. I'm sure sometime, if possible, we can meet in person as well. I'm a local lad. I'm from Parbhani, by the way. So although I'm settled in Pune currently, so we can definitely catch up sometime. Wish you all the best, and focus on what you want. Have a long-term plan and move according to it. Don't rest till you get to your goal. Awake, arise, and stop not till you reach your goal. Okay?